Yeah, maybe we'll see where we go.
Maybe.
So
Mhm.
let's get to this next area here, which is that we a couple of things about this psyche, autonomic nervous system, heart, Christ mind, subconscious mind, a lot of different words. Even you can look at a lot of old metaphysical texts, and they're choosing the word mind to mean way more than what we have come to term that word mind.
Mhm.
Anyway, a couple things you got to understand about the psyche is that number one, it doesn't register time as we know it. Everything is the now moment to the psyche, and you can look at a lot of different spiritual and metaphysical books and see that a lot of them will tell you that the only thing that's really true is here and now, the now moment, right? Eckhart Tolle, presence in the now, and so that's the way your psyche is registering things. It doesn't have a time tracker in it. The other thing about the psyche is it cannot distinguish between a figurative thought and a literal thought. To the psyche, every thought is literal. That's pretty shocking if you stop and think about it for a little bit. Because
Mhm.
we have been very well brainwashed into thinking figuratively on a lot of different things. And if your psyche can't distinguish between that, you better be pretty careful thinking figuratively if it's of the negative sort, right, during unexpected life situation.
Right. So this is an important idea, right? Um, so we covered first like these conflict shocks that are pretty like obvious, right? Like directly relatable from the physical translating to the body. But now you're introducing almost like a second tier of disease causation where it's created via some sort of metaphor that you're creating for reality. Right. So like some of these ones you've got here, I can't stomach that person. That is completely conveyed to the body via metaphor, that not like directly, right?
It's a figurative thought. So I can't stomach
Mm-hmm.
this. And I can't stomach
Right.
this situation. That
Right.
your psyche is taking this idea that there's a problem with your stomach. It's not good enough.
Right. And
So
you don't
what's it
even
going
have
to
to say,
do?
I can't stomach that. You don't have to think to yourself, I can't stomach it, right? But it's more like there's this situation in reality that you can't come to terms with or something. Like I can't accept that, right?
Yep, that's it.
And the
And that could also
stomach is
be
kind of like
mhm,
the manifestation of that stuff, right?
right. That's the yeah. You could add I can't digest this situation. So they both go together, right? The stomach,
Mm-hmm.
intestines, right? The gallbladder, the liver, and this is where anger registers.
Right.
So most of the anger conflicts are in the abdominal region.
Right. Yeah, and just watch your experience. Like just have a have a you know a new, more intense argument than you've ever had before with someone close to you. And just see if the next morning or even later that day you have stomach pain. And then go, oh, is that stomach pain caused by a germ? Or is it as predictable as I had a conflict shock argument last night and now I have stomach pain?
Yeah, I don't know that a brief argument would do it like that, but yeah, it's usually something you
Well, no,
carry
I
around
said
with you
one
for a
that's
while.
more intense than you're
Mm,
used to, right?
yeah, yeah, it's
Like a
possible.
new
Yeah,
level of argument, like that you're
hmm
erupting over. It's like, can't believe this. Like, how could you?
that may not be too good for your relationship though. Better be careful about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but yeah, these are just some basic ideas. I feel unsupported. I talked about that one. I don't want to. I don't want to see or hear something. I've seen this one coming up a lot lately. A lot of eye problems and ear problems. This is actually that's
Mm-hmm.
an example of the 20% though, where the actual symptoms, the conflict active symptoms are the symptoms are seen in the conflict active phase. So that's what Dr. Harmer called the functional loss category. So the eyes and the ears are some things that happen in the eyes and the ears are related to that. Those are some
Right.
pretty complex organs.
So if you don't
Anyway,
want to see something or don't want to hear something, if you don't want to sense something in a particular way, your psyche will create physical changes to your body to make it so. And if it's you
right.
do want to hear something or you do want to be able to see something, it'll also make changes.
right? It'll be the left, right, or left, right? It'll make changes to your eyes or ears, depending on whichever one, right? If you don't want to see something, I really, really don't want to see something, right? It'll make a change to your eyes, give you a problem with your eyes.
Yeah, like
Or if you,
blurred vision or something, right?
right. Or if
So
you
suddenly
really,
it's
really,
blurry
really
or
want to see
cataracts.
something, yeah, you really want to see something, but you can't, it'll also give you a physical result. I
Mm-hmm.
can't see this thing I want to see. So it'll actually fog up your eyes so you literally can't see. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty intense. And there's a lot to the eyes and the ears. I just want to put that out there as one example. So
Mm-hmm.
what we got next here? So yeah, Dr. Hummer came up with a variety of different, very specific conflict themes. And I say specific, but then I talk to people and they say, that doesn't seem so specific to me, but it's actually incredibly specific. But everybody thinks subjectively in their own little special ways, right? So you can't literally say, well, yeah, you had a problem with your left pinky because you were angry at your third child. It's not that specific. But some of the categories that he came up with were some big ones were separation conflicts, which are unavoidable in life, self-devaluation, self-esteem, self-worth conflicts, which I think is the biggest category of all. Again, that's judgment of self. Loss conflicts, like he had obviously with the death of his son. And then for men, there was a big category for men is what he called territorial anger, fear, loss, and marking conflicts. So men are kind of right. They have their territory, right? Their job and their car and their house, and they're the protector of it. And if anything right impinges in any of these areas, they can suffer some of these conflicts, and it can lead to some major diseases, to say the least. Women have more what he called nesting and identity conflicts, which is an interesting category. But then there's the scare, fright, fear conflicts, which land in the lungs, the bronchi, the laryngeal, the throat, the esophagus. That's where those ones hit. And then we already mentioned the anger conflicts, which are really hit the abdominal region, is where those ones tend to hit. So, but he's very specific. If it's this disease, then it's this conflict, and it's related to mother-child. He came up with this laterality thing, where if you're right-handed and the problem's on your left side, then it's related to your mother-child, and if it's on your right side, then it's related to basically anybody else in the world. We call it the partner side, and then it's the reverse if you're left-handed. And ironically, I think about 20 to 30% of people who think they're right-handed are actually biologically left-handed. There's a few unique tests that you can do to see if you can